Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Max Moreau, and with me is my co-host, Philip Wilson.
Hello, I'm here.
He is here now. So I'm not sure if anyone saw my previous broadcasts. I'm not sure if it even went through properly, but it went badly enough for me to switch back to OS 10.8. I actually very much like OS 10.9. But CamTwist was crashing every 5 minutes, so
yeah, it was not doing
that's not good enough for the show. So, anyway, without further ado, let's see what the heck we're doing today.
What are we doing today?
I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. Kind of didn't have a whole lot of time because I was doing that test earlier. I wish I had carved out more of my weekend to actually do that test yesterday, so I would have had more time to prepare for today. So we're on this boss thing. Let's see what we got. I think we have it so now that the player can die.
I think that is the thing.
And the boss can kind of lose parts after a lot of hits now because of your meddling.
My meddling?
Yeah, you were like, it should take more hits.
It's true.
Oh, and I'm dead, and only 2 hits, and I flew off this side of the screen.
Yeah,
that was
it's
awesome.
because the...
Bam.
Yeah,
Because we were testing that.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's
an
angry boss.
Yeah, we have a boss that can actually put the hurt on now.
Yeah, but if you stand still, it still won't put on any hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
And now it doesn't do anything.
Yep, now it's effectively dead. Oh, let's make a missile.
Okay.
That'll give us something to do. Excellent title. Someone liked my title. Excellent. Yeah, it'll be a regular title later. I just didn't care at this point.
Placeholder
wanted to
title.
get things working. So let's make a missile. What will a missile look like?
Additionally, as always, we'd like to hear from you, your opinions and whatnot. If you want us to go in a certain direction, just let us know in the comments.
So I think we're going to make our missiles out of cubes.
Cube missiles.
Yep, cubic missiles. Cubes don't really show direction very well, though.
No, they don't.
There's nothing here that's useful for that. There's no cone. There's no pyramid.
Nope.
Be nice if there was either a cone or a pyramid in there. Alright, well, we'll go with a... We'll make it into a... I know what we'll do, actually. We'll do some programmer art real quick. We're not going to do a cube. We're going to do a sphere, and we're going to do a cylinder. And we're going to rotate the cylinder. Here, I'm going to create a empty game object called missile. And I'm going to put the cylinder and the cube, or not cube, cylinder and the sphere in there. We're going to rotate the cylinder so that it faces the Z. That's not going to help us. There, that'll work. 90 degrees. Doesn't really matter which way it faces. The sphere does matter, though. We want that forward about 1. I don't know. Let's look at this in the scene view. Okay, so missile cylinder.
Want to move it on the Z-axis.
Oops. 0. Yeah. There we go. There.
It's a missile.
Looks kind of like a bullet now.
That works. It's
Okay,
a
let's
big
put
bullet.
a cube in there as well. And shrink it down a little. Not that much. Zero, zero, zero. Wait.
What?
Oh, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
So 0 and back 1. There we go. That's our missile. Sweet.
Yep, it does look more like a missile now.
All right, so we have a missile, and we're going to. I'm just going to create a prefab of this thing, and Is this going to be too big, or is this about the right size? That seems like a too big.
That seems a little too big.
So let's make it 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5.
Oh, I like that.
You like the sleek, long missile?
Yeah.
You prefer it longer?
Yep.
You would. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, let's
seems better.
stick with that.
Neato.
All right. So let's apply this to our prefab again. And let's see. Missiles like to seek things.
They do.
So let's create a C# script called missile. Seeking missile. And we will do a couple of variables. Public, float, turn speed. I'm going to put a public float speed equals 1.0f. That's probably way too small, but that's okay.
We can always change
Equals
it later.
30.0f. I think 30 degrees is usually a pretty good starting point. And all we're going to do is, in the update loop, we're going to make this thing go forward. So that would be transform.position plus equals transform.forward times speed times time.delta time. So that makes it go forward. And then we need to make it turn. So go forward. Turn. Alright, so the turning we will do transform.rotation equals quaternion.rotate towards. Alright, so the from will be transform.rotation. The to will be. Okay, we need to find player and figure out how to rotate towards him/her. All right.
Slash them.
Just going to do this. Oh, them. That's so wrong. That's not appropriate English, man.
They.
I actually don't mind using they as a genderless term because we don't have a good genderless because it sounds like you're being, offensive.
Classified as a
Yeah.
as a not a human.
Yeah, because we have this weird distinction. So find a player and figure out how to rotate towards. So game object player equals game object dot find game object with tag player. It's capitalized like that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Should be.
I'm gonna trust you on that.
I could be wrong.
All right. Player. So we want the quaternion that describes pointing towards the player. So that would be. So if we subtract the player's position from the missile's position, we should have part of that.
Yes.
We want. Let's see. Player dot position dot transform dot position minus transform dot position, and we're going to wrap this in a quaternion dot look rotation, and we give it these parameters, and we assign this to something useful like new rotation equals quaternion. New rotation.
It has to be a quaternion.
And then we just throw this into our already partially complete thing here. So, comma. And the turn speed shows its face here. And I think we need to multiply it by time dot delta time.
That would be appropriate.
So what this is doing, we get our player by finding it with its tag. Our player is tagged. We determine where it's at by doing a look rotation, which takes the vector that you want it looking at, and we give it the vector player transformed up position minus transferred up position. That is the vector pointing at the player. Mm-hmm. And then we set the rotation to rotate towards the new rotation, which means that it will only rotate the maximum it can in the amount of time or based on the turn speed.
Mm-hmm.
And the time.delta time makes it so that actually works out properly. Otherwise, it could turn 30 degrees per frame, which is considerably faster.
Yeah,
and then we tell it to go forward, which is we take the transform.forward and we multiply speed and time.delta time. So that just makes the transform.forward is a unit length vector facing forward, which means that if you were multiply it by 1, it would be 1. If you multiply it by 2, it's 2. So we multiply it by speed, and it's whatever we want it to be. In this case, it's multiplied by 1, so it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. And let's just throw this on our existing missile and see what happens. There's coming around. This big, hulking, really slow missile.
Yeah, it really is.
Coming towards the player, and it looks like it's doing what we want it to do.
Slowly
Just
rotating.
very slowly.
Slowly rotating around the player.
All right, cool.
That's neat.
Yep, that was nice and quick and dirty. So let's
make that mother move quicker.
All right, so let's make it move
10.
10. You think so?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's gonna have so much trouble hitting the player with the turn speed. And yeah, we'll see if it comes back onto the screen at some point. Where is it? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh god, it came from behind.
Yeah, it really
That's a horrible missile.
Yeah.
All right.
It needs a better turn speed.
Yeah, it does.
Give it 200.
200.
Yeah, 200.
It's just gonna look right at the player.
Yeah. It will. Yep, there it goes.
Yep.
But if you move around, you could start dodging it.
Well, now it has encouraged me to get hit by the lasers.
Yeah.
I like how
The
it
missile
stops when
might need to be a little smaller.
Missile is OP.
Yeah, the missile is OP.
Missile's OP. Oh god. If it was colliding with me, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, now we've gotten a threatening missile.
all right, so let's make this down to 2, but keep the
What?
turn speed really high. And let's actually start it like somewhere kind of where it would be starting.
I think 2 is too slow.
I think 2's just right. 180. Throw this in. Yeah, that's good for a test. Let's see, 1001, 1002. Okay, too slow. You're right. And we probably don't want it to turn
Let's go
that
5.
good either. 5.
Yeah, seems like a compromise. Yeah, that seems appropriate.
All right, so I'm gonna actually make these a little bit more fancy, I think. Let's see. So it comes right at the player. I think I'm gonna actually make it so they launch out in a direction and then go after the player after a time.
That's what I was thinking at first.
Because otherwise, there's so little time to react to these missiles coming in.
Do you think they should all come from behind?
Maybe. Alright, so let's make them more fancy. So let's do public vector 3. How do they work in here? Let's look at a video. Star Fox first boss.
You have to mute it
Yeah.
so it doesn't be like, oh, copyrighted material.
Yeah. Fox SNES first boss. Hopefully it will not.
Corneria boss, right?
Yeah, but that's just the music. Alright, fine. We'll just do this and we'll hit the mute button. And we'll drag it over somewhere.
That's too far.
Barely. Alright. Does this guy shoot missiles? Yeah, he does, but he already destroyed the missile pods. So problem with this boss is pretty much everyone's destroyed the missile pods before they do anything.
This is true.
Alright, so luckily it doesn't have twin blasters. So there's a missile. It launches, it kind of goes slow at the player.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what we already have. Cool.
Okay, cool.
But let's make it fancier.
Sounds good.
So what we're going to do is... we'll have it based on the float. Start seeking. Start seeking equals.
Set a time.
Yeah, let's just set it to 1.0 f. And then all we have to do is keep a time variable. So we'll do a private float t equals 0.0 f. And so then we do t plus equals time dot delta time, and if t is less than start seeking, then we actually let's do if t is greater than start seeking. There we go. So now this won't actually turn at things. Well, actually, do encapsulate this as well until that time has been set. So what we can do now is if we go to the missile and rotate it in some arbitrary direction.
Just a random direction, maybe. That way works.
So now it should fly out for a second and then go towards the player.
It exactly did.
Cool. It's too fast. Let's try 4. God, I got shut down.
And I like that it stops completely when the player dies. Because it can't find the player.
And then what we need to do is, if it has passed the player, we want it to stop seeking at that point.
And just continue on its merry way.
We could just do that with a timer. Let's just do that to start with. Public float stop seeking equals 4.0 f. And what are we doing? So stop seeking if t is greater than start seeking, and t is less than stop seeking. So 1001, 1001, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. Cool, it worked.
Yep. Do we want to have the destroy on invisible or whatever? Probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw with destroy on invisible on here. I'm going to throw this into scripts now. And we'll put destroy on invisible and the missile. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to our prefab.
So now we'll see that the missile gets destroyed.
And it is not destroyed because we did it wrong. Because we want to actually set it to... We've had this problem several times before, which is why our script looks different. We want to make it so... which part? We'll do the sphere. Doesn't really matter. So we'll do destroy on invisible, and we'll set it to destroy the parent, because there's no renderer on the parent. So now it should actually work.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. So we have that now. We just need to make the missile actually make the enemy actually fire these things rather than just this test one that we have in the scene, which should be simple enough. Let's see here.
They need some kind of missile spawner, which would probably be the boss itself.
Yeah. What do we have for the boss here? Big boss controller. Let's see what we got. Alright, so we're going to do public transform array called missile spawn points, and let's see, public game object spawn missile, and we need what else do we need? Let's make it so that public what do we have? Shot delay, missile, public float missile delay equals, I don't know, 1.0f. This thing's gonna be launching missiles like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Alright, so what we're gonna do is laser shot delay, so we'll just do invoke shoot missile on missile delay.
Okay.
And we will create a function called void
shoot
missile. And let's create a couple more things here. Private int missile index equals 0. We'll explain what that does in a second. I'm going to have it fire out of those 4 ports in the front, cycle through them. And what else? Missile index, and anything else we have to keep track of? Probably not.
Not at the moment.
So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I put this at the end of shoot missile so it will happen again. And so that if we change things while it's running, we can tweak and learn. So all we're going to do is, I'm going to look at our fire laser. There's got to be something here where we instantiate something. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to instantiate
missile.
Spawn missile. What was I doing there? And what am I doing there? Alright. And so we want this at a position. So let's get so transform target or spawn point equals missile spawn points 0. Not 0.
Should be I or something.
Missile index.
Yeah, missile index is
all right.
Appropriate.
And then we will missile index ++, and if missile index is greater than missile spawn points
Do you want to do like a
dot count or dot length? All right. If it's greater than that, then we set missile index to 0. So what this is doing is basically we're assuming that we're going to cycle through the missile spawn points. We're going to set those in the editor, and once we set all those spawn points, it will go from the 0, 1, the 1, 1, the 2, 1, the 3, 1, and then back to the 0. Mm-hmm. We'll probably have 4. And yeah, we'll just do that. And so what we need now is spawn point dot position and spawn point dot rotation. All right, and that should be everything we need. So now we just need to actually set this up on our boss. So we need missile spawn points, which means we need to create some. So I'm going to create a empty game object. We're going to call this missile spawn point. We're going to put it on the big boss somewhere. So boss base is that section. That's where it should probably be.
Yes.
Going to actually... yeah, I don't like that orientation, so let's just put it in here somewhere. So first I'm going to kind of point it towards where we want it, because it's going to inherit some weird-ass positioning here.
It really is.
So just -90, that's not too bad. And we will, let's put this closer to 0, 0, and then pull it out until, whoops, that is awkward.
It's the Z, right? No. That is awkward.
Yeah.
Is it Y or X?
It's Y.
It's Y. Why oh why is it Y?
It's just the way this thing was set up. Alright. So we'll put this here, and we'll pull this back a ways. Alright. Does that look somewhat right?
It's hard to tell.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So 2.75, 2.7, and Y is 2.25. I'd say that's pretty safe. We can probably put that a little higher. 3. Oh wait, Y is not doing what I thought it was doing.
No, Y is moving forward and backwards.
Right. And then this one is
1.6.
All right. And then let's just duplicate this a few times. Missile spawn point. We'll move this one over to whatever that should be. 0.85. And duplicate it again. This one just would be positive. Why does it do that?
That's weird.
And then finally duplicate one more time. And what was this one at? -2.7. We'll do it at positive 2.7.
Hopefully that's correct.
It'll be close enough. And then we can get rid of our existing missile here. I'm going to hit apply, just make sure that, actually I'm going to set the rotations to 0 and then apply.
Good call.
It's not going to make a difference, but I just like that.
Still a good call.
So let's delete this. And so now all we have to do is go into our big boss. I'm going to hit the little lock button here so we can drag in multiple things. We're going to grab all our spawn points and drag them into missile spawn points. Then we're going to go into our prefabs and drag in our missile. And I'm going to save scene, save project, hit play, and see what happens.
Missiles. Missiles are what happens. Though granted, they only all spawned one.
Why is that?
That is a good question.
See if we got any debug. Index out of range. Greater than or equal to. There we go.
Yep.
Equals.
Good old greater than or equal to.
Let's try this again.
Missile. 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 Yep, it's working now.
It's kind of terrifying, actually.
I think they still need to move faster.
I don't think so. I really don't. Especially if they're going to be spawning this many of them.
Well, yeah, there maybe not that many of them.
Find it funny that whatever order that it actually put them in, it's not left to right, and I actually kind of like that better.
Yeah, I do too.
That's
what you call a happy... Oh, wow. Look at all that null reference exception.
Yeah, that's because they're looking for the player.
They should just go forward if they can't find the player.
Exactly, so I'm going to do that. That's actually what they do anyway, but I'm going to get rid of that null reference exception. So let's go to our seeking missile AI here. And all we're going to do is if player does not equal null. then we do all this wonderful stuff.
That pesky player.
All right. So our boss is already considerably more formidable. These things don't actually do damage yet, but we can fix that pretty quickly. I think that's what we'll do next.
I think the laser actually needs to be a little more threatening as well.
And I think we should be able to shoot the missiles.
I agree. They should have some sort of particle.
You think the laser should be more threatening?
Yeah.
Like how?
They should sweep.
Yeah. I don't feel like decoupling the stuff they'll have to decouple to make that happen.
Because they don't really shoot at you, they just kind of shoot around you.
Just make the lasers bigger. That'll fix that. No. Just gigantic beams. Alright, so what are we going to do? Let's make those missiles hurt first.
I think that's a good call.
And then let's make it so we can hurt the missiles.
Or vice versa.
So, how are we going to do that? Currently, we use on our...
Do we use it on trigger?
Lasers. I think we use it on trigger. Let's see what we got. Lasers... Oh, I'm still locked on this. Damage player on trigger. Alright, well that's simple enough. Alright, so all we have to do is place a damage player on trigger on our missile. Alright. So add component, damage player on trigger. And we already have everything we want, except for, yeah, damage amount's fine.
Yep.
And then, what are we going to do? So
we also want to kill probably the missile when it hits the player.
Yeah. Alright, let's make it, public bool destroy on trigger equals false. This way it will work exactly the way it was working before, and we don't have to write a whole nother script to do this, which could potentially do things in the wrong order anyway.
Yes.
So we'll do all that, and then destroy if destroy on trigger. Actually, is this going to work? Yeah, it'll be fine. Oh, wait. Except for, will this get a trigger message?
Will it get a trigger message?
Here, let's see. How do we have our laser set up? Move forward. Damage player on trigger. Alright, so it's on the geometry itself, which leads me to believe that this is not going to work the way we wanted it to. So
that's unfortunate.
Maybe it will, though.
Should try it. We could theorize about what'll happen until we try it. But sometimes it's fun to just give it a shot.
Let's just get rid of the colliders that are on these things. We don't need the sphere collider, remove component. We don't need the cylinder collider, we remove component. And we don't need the cube collider. Remove component, and then we'll just, on the missile itself, let's actually instantiate it in the scene so that we can see what we're doing here. We will add a collider of some kind. Component, physics.
Goodbye.
Let's do capsule.
Capsule.
Capsule is probably the most appropriate. And, oh, whoops. Alright.
And is trigger?
Is trigger. And let's make it actually fit the geometry a little bit better. So we want radius, height of 2, 3. Okay, we definitely want this to be along a different axis, so we want z-axis. 5, 6.
Looks good.
And radius of 0.25. Oops. Let's see how that looks. That looks great.
Oh, it looks pretty darn good.
That looks great. Alright, so that'll be fine. And just run trigger, sure. And we'll hit apply here. And so now, if we delete this and hit play, we should get missiles that damage the player and blow themselves up.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, so bam. Well, it damaged the player.
Yeah, it didn't blow itself up, though, because it doesn't know what to do.
Did I actually not checkmark that or something?
Checkmark. What now?
I did. Destroy on
destroy
trigger.
on trigger. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't actually do anything yet. Destroy game object. There we go. Now this will actually do something. No. No.
Yeah.
I got hit by the laser on the way out.
I think actually we probably could up the hit points of the ship now.
Yeah, but it's good for testing right now. I'm just going to leave it for right this moment. Alright, and then finally, let's make it so that we can kill these things by shooting at them. So, what do we have currently that does that? We have a enemy of some kind, right?
Thought so. Yeah.
And that's probably not it. Enemy parent, there we go. This one, give on trigger. So,
yeah.
Yep, just do give on trigger.
Sounds like a good plan.
Give on trigger. We're going to, I'm just going to go ahead and instantiate it one more time here just because it's easier to work with. I feel like it's easier for some reason to work in the scene. Mostly due to the fact that it hides some layers from you if you do it the other way. Not in this case, obviously, but in other cases.
Yeah.
And, so we want to give on trigger. Throw that on our missile here. We want it to react to player bullets, definitely. And we will just do the
normal explosion.
Normal enemy death explosion. And we'll apply this. Delete our missile. Now, in theory, as these things are firing at us, we can shoot them down. Yeah. See, I feel boxed in. I feel really boxed in, actually. It is amazing how much more threatening this thing is.
Yeah, a little bit more threatening. But you could just dodge by going up. Theoretically.
Oh, God.
A little bit more boxed in, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So, yeah, that's awesome. Are we still actually streaming? Is everything still working? Cam Twist hasn't crashed. That's nice. Wish that was not happening in Mavericks. Alright.
So we could get the boss moving left and right.
You want to get the boss moving left and right? Alright.
Yeah. Forward, backwards, left, right. Be a little bit difficult with the missiles, but not impossible.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Alright, so you want the boss to move around. You think it needs to move?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, fine.
Seems like it should be moving at least forwards and backwards.
Alright, let's do public. What do we want to do?
Want like a movement speed?
Float, movement, speed. Equals 1.0 f. Public float movement. Movement radius equals 1. Let's make that 10.0 f.
Okay.
All right. So let's also make it so that what do we want to do? Movement radius 10. Public float. Movement delay equals 2.0 f. Actually, let's make it 5. Invoke move boss movement delay.
Sounds good.
Void move boss. Let's create a private transform original position. Actually, let's do vector 3. Vector 3 original position. And we're going to set this to be, at the start, we're going to set original position equals transform dot position.
Call.
And then what we're going to do is, in move boss, we're going to pick a place. So let's do,
preferably along X
movement
and Z, right?
vector equals random dot inside unit sphere.
Do we want it inside a sphere?
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll fix it up in a second here. So we'll do inside unit sphere. This actually is not a function, it's just done, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives us a vector, and we're going to multiply this by movement radius. And then we're going to do, let's see. Random inside unit sphere times movement radius. So this gives us a random direction in 3 space, but we only want the 2-dimensional portion of it. So I'm going to do the cheap and dirty way of just making it so that we set the y to 0. So we're going to do movement vector. Why is that? Oh, because I didn't declare it yet. Vector 3 movement vector. Movement vector dot y equals 0. 0.0f. And then we move towards that goal. Let's see. We're going to probably create a subroutine for this.
I think that's a good idea.
Void actually move boss. So let's do private vector 3 goal position. And so we will set goal position to equals equals original position plus movement vector. So that gives us a position in 3 space that we want it to actually go to.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we do start coroutine actually move boss in quotes. And we're going to do float t equals 0, 0.0f, while t is less than movement speed. Alright, this is not how I want to do it. Hold on. So, where was I writing this to? Okay, we don't need t. Transform dot position. Okay, so we want it to move towards the goal position,
Mm-hmm.
And once it reaches or slightly passes the goal position, we want to stop. Let's see what we got here. Actually, I'm going to set this up differently because I'm lazy. So instead of setting a movement speed, we're going to set up a movement time. This will probably be way too fast in most cases. But so what we're going to do is we're just going to tween to that goal position and over the time. So if it happens to be a far position, it'll move a little bit faster. If it happens to be a close position, it'll move a little bit slower. We'll see how this actually feels. We might switch it back to the other later. Who knows, depending on how I care about things. So float t equals 0.0f while t is less than movement time. Transform dot position equals vector 3 dot lerp. From is our initial, so that would be
Is it,
oh wait, it's not this. So it's the okay. So we
it's
need
not original position.
No, it's not. It's another one. So we want it to be actually
goal position, or not goal position.
We need another one. Private vector 3 current position.
Yeah.
So we'll set current position equals transform dot position.
There you go.
So we want current position, goal position,
and then the time,
and then t divided by movement time. That's correct, right? Yes, because that will equal 1 once we get to the movement time. And that might be it. Oh yeah, we just have to actually call the move boss after movement delay again. So let's see what this does.
Yeah.
Hit play, and we got a boss, and he's... Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh, I didn't yield return. No! No! Hopefully I saved at some point, which I think I did. Alright, end it. End it now.
This is what happens when you don't yield return null.
Yep. I put it in an infinite loop. What a noob mistake. Alright. Let's see what we got. No, I don't want your new version just yet. So let's see what's still working.
Oh, there's missiles.
There's missiles. Sweet. Oh. Didn't fix the problem.
That's good, though. That means we didn't lose anything.
We're going to not lose it twice. Alright. Alright, let's actually fix this now.
Good call.
Alright, so we're going to go back into our thingy here. What? There it is. So what we want is...
Yield return null.
Yield return null. Right there. Now, this should actually do something. All errors have to be fixed. What did I do? Oh, this isn't an IEnumerator. IEnumerator. Save. And... Oh, it might help to actually load the level.
That would help.
Alright, let's see what this thing does. So it's going to fire at us, and it's going to choose to move here in a few seconds, and... Or it's not.
Let's get some
Or
prints.
just sit there and do nothing.
I'm not like talking like the musician Prince.
Alright, let's see. What do we
Some
got?
debug logs.
We've got spawn laser, laser rotation speed, laser charge time.
Unless 10 is
Oh,
a very...
I know what's the problem. T plus equals time dot delta time.
That would do it.
That'll help a lot.
Yes, it will. One more time.
All right. Big money, no whammies. It did something! Oh, God!
Yep, it moved.
It's horrifying.
It moved fast, too. Oh, God. That is horrifying.
It's encroaching on me.
Wow.
Alright, well, we have movement.
How do the missiles just kind of hang out? They should get the position from the parent when they're coming out of the missile launchers.
Okay. We can do that.
Yeah. Seems like that wouldn't be too crazy.
Oh, can we do that? Let's see. I know what we'll do.
Gonna go to the missile script.
Yeah, I know what we're going to do. So, we're going to go to our... We're going to have to do it in 2 places, actually. So, what we need to do is, if it hasn't started seeking, or if it's not seeking...
Only if it's not seeking.
Okay,
really.
So we want to set, at the initial thing here, we're going to set the parent to null. So, transform.parent equals null. And then we are going to go on here, and when we spawn the missiles, shoot missile, we're going to have to get a game object instance equals as game object, and then instance dot parent dot transform dot parent equals spawn point dot transform dot parent. So what this is doing is we have these already parented to the boss, and so it's basically going to make these the parents of the object until they start moving.
Yeah.
So what'll happen here is we should see them kind of move back with the... There it goes. It worked.
Yep. Sure did.
Certainly looks a lot better, actually.
Yeah, it does. This is a terrifying boss now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is an utterly terrifying boss. We went from a boss that's kind of threatening if you're moving left and right to a boss that's actually pretty terrifying.
Yeah. The movement kind of freaks me out, how it moves really fast towards you. Just a little bit.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I actually like it better than I thought I was going to like it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think that was rather productive.
Alright, I want to actually change the way the player dies slightly. Where is that player?
Where is the player?
I guess it would actually probably be in Health Manager, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Damage player.
Is it on explosion?
Let's see, explode. Instantiate player death effect. Reset position, reset position.
It is kinematic equals true. Yeah, probably.
So that's actually when it blows up, though. So it's right here where we're setting all the stupid things. So we got... oh, wait, we are applying a force to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not enough, though.
No, it's not.
That's too much.
Probably. Let's see what happens. I feel like we did this last week.
I feel like we did, too.
Or last time, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, way too fast. All right.
Try less than 10, actually, just for fun.
It's less than 10?
Yeah.
Like
try 5.
5.
Yeah, see what happens.
It's just gonna plunk somewhere.
Yeah, probably a little bit. Just kind of fell out of the sky, didn't it?
Alright, I think what we need to do is we need to do this force, which is the one that you're pointed at, and then also do a forward force. So we'll just do that as 2 separate calls here. Just do the big transform dot forward times yeah, we'll just do that.
See what happens.
Although velocity change will probably overwrite the Well, let's find out what happens.
Yeah, it never hurts.
Oh, all compiler errors have to be fixed.
Oh, it did not like that, did it?
Why didn't it like that?
It really did not like that.
Object reference is required to access non-stack member transform.forward.
It needs a reference of an object. Interesting.
Wait, why?
What if it was just a world.transform.forward?
This is the world transformed forward.
Should be.
Actually, we don't even want the world when we want transform.backwards, technically. Why would this be unhappy?
That is a good question.
Non-static member unity engine.transform.forward. Huh. Okay, well, ignore that.
Yeah.
This is just me screwing around anyway. That's just so weird.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird. I knew what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Unity did not know what you wanted to do.
I don't understand. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna call that a wrap for today.
Yeah, we made a quite terrifying boss.
We made things more scary.
Yeah, I really thought that the lasers weren't going to be enough, but
Why
now
am I
with the
not
missiles
killing
and the
those
moving.
missiles?
Oh, that's a good question. Did we find a bug?
Why are my missiles not dying?
Oh, whoa, what's going on? Did you see that the ground was...
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. What is going on? Let's see what the missiles are doing real quick. Can't call it with missiles not dying. Oh, it would be on the destroy on trigger, wouldn't it? In that script.
They're not hitting me anymore either. Okay, I'm going to pause this and look at one of these missiles. Spectre. Oh, wait. Oh.
It's missing the script.
Saves. Alright, so this is what we lost in their saving, I guess.
Aha.
Missile. Yeah, we lost a few things here. Alright. Alright, so we want to get rid of the stupid things on these. Remove the box collider. Remove the cylinder. I knew we had not saved something.
Yeah, there must have been something, which was this, apparently.
Move component. And we add a physics capsule collider. Z-axis 0.25.
It wasn't like 3?
6.
That was 6.
And then we're
Trigger.
going to add the
Does it need to be
damage player on trigger. It needs to be a trigger. Destroy on trigger. And then we are going to do this again. Add component gib on trigger. Tags 1 player bullet.
And then give it a gib.
Give it an enemy def gib.
Let's save that.
And let's apply.
Oh, yeah. And then
Let's delete. Let's save.
Sounds good.
Save. Hit play and see what we get. So I can shoot them, yay. And when they hit me, they hurt, okay, yay, and they blew up, yay.
Oh, that's nasty.
Alright. And there we have a terrifying boss encounter.
Yeah, that's quite a nasty boss.
I think I might be done with the boss encounter other than adding sound effects and stuff. So
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that's pretty
awesome.
much a boss.
Yeah.
He's a boss.
He is a boss. What am I doing? Just the face.
Oh god, big pictures.
Thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you wanted to talk about how much you like the show, how much you dislike the show, have suggestions for future shows, please email me at pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Dragfire. And you should buy Phil's game Robot Alone on iOS. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Buy it. It's
Beat his high score.
It's Puro Clone. Play it.
Play it.
It's fun. You can send me an email if you want to. It's philip@protosoftworks.com. Or you can follow me on the Twitter. That's @magmalemur. Sometimes I tweet. It's true.
It is true. I've seen it.
And you know what you should do while you're here on the website? Click that little donate button.
Yes, on the front page. It's probably not on the page you're looking at right now, but it's in the banner thing.
You should
here.
You should click on it
on the main page.
Click on it. Just send your money away.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we really appreciate
idea.
it. It helps us out. It helps us produce the show. We do this because it's fun, but it also has small expenses. So
yes, absolutely.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, and you guys have a great night.
Have a good night.
We can see your hand. It's crazy. I'm not going to block it. It's such a rare encounter.
Yep. Now we're done.
And now we are done.